Rural Americans deserve access to the best of what our nation has to offer, especially health care. Across every state and every community, America's rural hospitals are the first line of defense, protecting our families, neighbors, and loved ones. No matter where you live, hospital care doesn't clock out. They're there 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Each year, America's over 5,000 hospitals care for millions of patients, providing 24/7 emergency care, delivering babies, cancer treatments, and other life-saving care that patients rely on. Behind every one of those patients are doctors, nurses, and caregivers working tirelessly to keep people healthy and safe. Hospitals are our community's lifelines. They employ our neighbors and keep our families healthy. But now, some in Congress are threatening access to care. Tell Congress, protect patient care to keep America strong. Don't cut rural health care.
Listen, all you New Yorkers. Taxi.
Okay, man, we're looking around.
This is the 77 WABC minicast.
Bombs, bombs, bombs. That's the big story in New York now. Bombs. You like it? Do you like having the NYPD and the FBI searching around, all the messages you get on your social media and all the stories? Hey, the NYPD is downtown. Reports of a bomb. They're uptown. Reports of a bomb. Midtown. That doesn't matter. Wherever you go. Reports of a bomb. And this happened. There was a protest over the weekend. Pro-white, anti-Muslim, whatever you want to call it. You know, you choose. That's what I recommend everyone does now. Don't just take anyone else's word for it. You pick what you want to call it. Zohran Mamdani called it a white supremacy rally or something like that. And other people call it an anti-Islamic takeover of New York protest. But, you know, you pick and choose. It did involve bombs, though. That's always nice. And the way the news presented it and Zohran Mamdani presented it, he didn't make any distinction between the protest, which was anti-Islam protest, and who threw the bomb. And if you read the story without knowing what it was about, you may think that the people protesting Islam were the ones that also got violent and threw a potentially very deadly bomb into the crowd of people. But it was indeed Muslims, anti-protesters, anti-Muslim protesters. It gets very confusing. And there were two gentlemen that were arrested for throwing this bomb. It was a homemade kind of a nail bomb, they call it. These are made to inflict the most damage and injury as possible. It's shrapnel. You know, they wrap up nails and other little pieces of metal, BBs, things like that, into a pipe bomb or some other explosive. And then you put it somewhere with a timer, or you light it and throw it. And when it explodes, a lot of stuff goes into a lot of people. And that's what this type of bomb was that, thank God, did not go off. It fizzled out before it exploded. But the investigators and the bomb squad said, oh, yeah, this was definitely a deadly bomb that could have really hurt a lot of people and caused death and destruction. So Zohran Mamdani had what did he say? He had a little statement. Let's see what he said about this. Zohran says, today in response to yesterday's protest outside Gracie Mansion, Mayor Zohran Mamdani released the following statement. Yesterday, white supremacist Jake Lang, I've never even heard of that guy. He wasn't in the pamphlets. Jake Lang organized a protest outside Gracie Mansion rooted in bigotry and racism. Now, look, I don't know anything about this guy. I do know that there are a lot of New Yorkers that are not happy with the influx of Islam in New York and the, kind of not meshing well with American customs and American civil society. So, if you're protesting that, it's racism and bigotry and whatnot. But like I said, I don't know. I don't know this guy. I don't know this man. I don't know what he does. Such hate has no place in New York. It is an affront to our city's values and the unity that defines who we are. Unity that defines who we are. There is more racially based violence going on in New York and other Democrat-run cities that pride themselves on their diversity and unity that defines them. And meanwhile, the races despise each other. Please, with your rooted in values and of unity and blah, blah. Defines who we are. What followed was even more disturbing. Violence at a protest is never acceptable. The attempt to use explosive devices and hurt others is not only criminal, it is reprehensible and the antithesis of who we are. We thank the brave men and women of the NYPD who acted quickly to keep New Yorkers safe. Our officers ran toward danger without hesitation, demonstrating once again the courage and dedication it takes to protect this city every single day. My administration is closely monitoring the situation. And I remain in close contact with our police commissioner. Did you see how he said that? He goes, white supremacist Jake Lang, organize a protest, bigotry, racism, hate has no place in New York, an affront to our values, and then goes, what followed was even more disturbing. No change in who this was. Not a what followed was even more disturbing. Two Islamic jihadists yelled Allahu Akbar and threw an explosive device at the protesters. To clear it up a little, he just said what followed was even more disturbing, implying that the same people he's talking about, the bigoted racists, were the ones that threw the explosive device. This is misinformation or disinformation. If it's, misinformation, I think is more an error. Oops, I misinformed you. Disinformation seems like you do it on purpose. Let's disinform them. So I believe this is disinformation, leaving out things in order to lead you to believe the lie that is being told. And that's exactly what happened here. So Zohar Mamdani, we're on to you. We know it. I've read so many posts on social media about this, and people are on to him. They noticed that he didn't say a word about who were the ones responsible for the deadly bombs. It wasn't the bigoted, racist, hate-filled protesters. It was the Islamic jihadists, the fundamentalists, the people that have been brainwashed and follow these tenets of Islam that if somebody doesn't agree with you, you're justified to blow them up. That's what I get from the whole thing. That's how I seize it. But, perish the thought, our inclusive mayor for everyone. Everybody's mayor. Unity. All that diversity. Perish the thought he actually says who were responsible for this. He pointed out the white supremacists. He pointed out white people and bigots and racists, but then he steers clear of pointing out who the ones that were actually lighting a deadly bomb. Your people, Zoran. They're all yours.
At Manhattan University, a graduate degree is not out of reach. You'll gain real-world skills, credentials employers value, and connections to New York City's top companies. Choose from their new Master of Science degrees in healthcare informatics, digital marketing and analytics, business analytics, or financial analytics, all built around hands-on learning and industry partnerships. Graduate ready to lead, not just work. Take the next step at manhattan.edu/graduate. Manhattan University. Lead the future.